Welcome back, watchers and listeners, to another episode of What We Watch. My name is Natalie, and I am your co-host alongside
Garrett.
just Garrett.
Yeah, I thought you were going
And
to take it over from that.
and we are here reviewing our first Christmas-y movie of the season. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yay. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yay! Happy holidays. And we watched while you were sleeping this week. But before we get into that, what have you been watching this week, Garrett?
Good question. I forgot we do this, even though we've done it pretty much
It's
every
always
episode.
the person that isn't doing the leading of the conversation that forgets, because I forgot last week.
Okay, sweet. So yeah, recently I watched two classics. The first is Once Upon a Time in the West, which is an old one of the classic Western movies of like the
Sounds
70s
Western.
or 60s. It was 68. Yeah, so it was really good. Definitely it's one of those movies that has influenced so much, but when you go back, it's like, yeah, it's pretty good. Like you can tell why it's influential, but it is a little slow.
Like lots of other movies were influenced by it. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, like a bunch of other Westerns. Like it's one of the most influential Westerns of our time. It just is a little, it's not necessarily, I mean, it's slow, but it's more, I think that type of similar story has been perfected in other Westerns. But it was still really, really good. The villain was really cool. And that's all I'll say about that because I don't really have that many thoughts on it. It was good. If you like Western movies, you should probably watch one where it was the one kind of, not that it started at all, but it was a super big classic. So for those who like Western movies and you haven't seen this movie, you should watch it.
Give it a try.
Other movie I watched, I think it was technically, well, I have watched Hugo, but this is my second, which I kind of view as my first Martin Scorsese movie. I watched Shutter Island with Leonardo DiCaprio and Mark Ruffalo and stuff. Very, very, very good. Really good. It's very Severance-y, very Truman Showy. And it's a little spooky, but it has a really good ending. It's definitely not a feel-good movie. Yeah, it's not a feel-good movie, but it's a movie where it's one of those movies where after the credits roll, or when the credits start rolling, you just sit there. You got to take it in.
That was a
And it's
film.
another one of those, it has a concrete ending, but it's one of those where it can have multiple interpretations the way you view it.
Yeah.
It definitely has this is the ending, but it's not an Inception ending where the thing keeps spinning and you're like, oh my gosh, is he in a dream? I don't know, up to you. It's similar, but there definitely is no, this is the end. It just, how they got there is really kind of up to you of was it this way or was it this way? Which was really neat. But
I don't know what that means since I haven't seen it, but
yeah, and I'm
great.
trying not to say it a lot because
you don't want to spoil it.
Exactly, but it's one of the one of the big plot twists of the last 15ish years, or when did it come out? The last since the mid 2000s. And yeah, it's brief summary is a U.S. Marshal in the 50s gets sent to an insane asylum because they're somebody escaped, and so he's kind of looking into the case, figuring out what's going on, and shenanigans ensue, is what I'll say.
Wow, shenanigans. That doesn't entice you. I don't know what will.
Exactly. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I watched recently. No, not since. Well, I mean, TV shows and stuff, but rewatching Stranger Things.
Nice.
We'll probably have to do a Stranger Things episode.
I was gonna say,
once.
I actually thought of that recently. I'm wondering if we'll have a chance to do some between the releases of the new episodes of Stranger Things. Maybe we do a little 30-minute episodes or something. Yeah. I don't know. Guess we'll see.
That'd be fun.
Let us know if you want us to do that. Yeah. Well, cool. Anything else?
Nope. What have you been watching?
Well, we watched Coco for Day of the Dead, which was very fun. Nice. I won't say the actual name because I butcher it every time.
Dia de los
could you
Muertos.
say it? There it
Yeah.
is. There it is. And then I've just kind of been, I think because this movie kind of got me in the mood, I've just been kind of getting into some more of like the cheesy rom-com, cheesy Christmas romance type vibes. So I
Hmm.
haven't gotten fully into Hallmark yet, but I did watch like a Netflix one with Lindsay Lohan called Our
Yeah.
Little Secret, which was kind of fun. And then I watched like To All the Boys I Loved Before. And so I've just been kind of in a like ooey gooey mood where I literally don't have to think at
Hmm.
all. It's been great.
Nice.
I literally just sit
That's
there
what
and
Christmas is about. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, we watched Good Luck Charlie, It's Christmas last night with my family, which was
Hmm.
funny. Um, for some reason, that is one that we always rewatch. It is like the dumbest plot of all time, and nobody thinks through anything in that movie, but it's good. We also like to watch Merry Christmas, Drake and Josh. So, some
Yeah.
random ones that we throw in there, but it's a good time.
Hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say there's something. Oh yeah, I remember. I don't know why, but the first time I watched Coco, I was like, that was good. But then I watched it like the second time I watched it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is like I didn't understand the hype honestly the first time. I was like, this is good, but like, is this like one of the best Pixar movies? I don't know. Then
Yeah.
since that first time, every time I watch it, I'm like, this movie's insane. This movie's so good.
It's so good. There's something about the music that
Hmm.
really just gets me, and I think the animation of like all the like world, the other side, just is really cool with all the what are those flowers called? The petals.
I can't remember. Yeah,
But
the
yeah, the
petals. Yeah.
orange petals. I just think it's so cool. It's so fun. And then we watched it not this Sunday, but the Sunday before that, and we watched it with
Hmm.
Jordan, and he's been obsessed ever since. He'll sing to us "Remember Me." He's so cute. And so, anyways, it's just been a good time.
Yeah.
So, that's kind
I
of what we've been
remember.
watching.
I think my just a joke that I've always loved from that movie is after they like defeat what's his name Ernesto de la Cruz when the
Mhm.
dude like they're all cheering and the dude who got like snacks comes and sits
He
down and he
comes
goes,
back with his
"What I
corn.
miss?"
Yeah,
Yeah,
with his
it's so
elotes.
funny.
And he's like, "What did I
Hmm.
miss?" Yeah, no, that one actually. That's funny you said that. It really got me this last time we watched it. I was dying,
Yeah,
but a good little joke at the end there. Anyways,
definitely.
it always like stresses me out that movie. Like as soon as it
Yeah.
begins, I'm like, "Go faster!"
Hmm.
I'm like, "You're running out of time, Miguel."
You're turning into a skeleton, Miguel. Let's get a move on here.
Yeah. Anyways, okay, cool. Well, let's get into the movie. Do we have anything else to say before we jump right in?
No, I don't think so. I think this might be our shortest "well, we've been watching it" segment yet, but it's
Yeah,
okay.
that's great. We're cruising. We don't even need Jackson. He's not on today, sadly. But anyways, the movie we watched is While You Were Sleeping. Do you know what year it was
It was
made?
96, I want to say.
1996. And
95.
the
I was a year off.
95.
Dang it.
And this is a classic in my home, especially around the holidays. And it's one of my mom's all-time favorite movies. And the synopsis from IMDb says a hopelessly romantic Chicago Transit Authority ticket booth operator is mistaken for the fiance of a comatose patient.
What
That's what
a
IMDb says.
what a like what's the word? What a synopsis.
What a synopsis. I
Hmm.
think that's the same thing that it says on Disney Plus when you go to watch it.
I
Let me
think
double
so.
check because when I saw that the other day, I was like dying laughing. Like I thought that was the funniest thing I've ever seen
And it's
because
like it's accurate, but it's just like kind of the way it's written. It's like, yeah. I went into this movie not knowing literally anything about it besides Sandra Bullock and Bill Pullman were in it. And then when I went to Disney Plus and read that description, I was like, what is this
he
movie?
said,
Like, what is
"What
about to
is going
happen?
on?"
Yeah.
It's a fun one. Let me double check. This one just says a lonely subway worker is mistaken for a comatose man's fiance. So
Yeah.
funny.
It's like, huh.
So I hope that you all got to watch this movie. It is so fun,
Hmm.
and just a lighthearted little movie. So, Um, yeah. What? Where should we even begin? Well, let's start with the cast, the original cast. We got Sandra Bullock, got Bill Pullman. What's that other guy's name?
Which guy?
The
There's the old man from Scooby Doo 2, the dad.
Peter Gallagher plays
Peter Gallagher.
Peter, and then we got a bunch of fun people in this movie. I'm trying to think who else
There's
stands
a bunch of
out
like
to
it's
me.
like classic actors like Peter
Yes,
Boyle is like a classic actor. Um,
Jack
I don't know how to say
Warden
her
plays
name, but
Saul.
yeah, Jack Warden,
Glynis
Glynis
Johns.
Johns, who's the mom from Mary Poppins.
Yes,
Like a bunch of classic-y actors are kind of the family.
yes. Fun movie. I love a Sandra Bullock movie.
Hmm.
She's just great. So let's go into our alternate casting. This is one that we kind of like introduced last episode,
Hmm.
and we just kind of want to see what maybe we would cast alternatively, whether in
Hmm.
today's or at any time. We've kind of switched up, right? We want to do it like you can pick any actor from any time in in their career. So,
Yeah.
yeah, let's start with you, Garrett. Who would you want as Lucy? And I feel like what we should do for this segment is we can like talk through our options and then we have
Yeah.
to pick one. So we'll have
Ooh, yeah,
an
yeah, yeah.
alternate cast by Natalie and Garrett.
Hmm. So what's interesting about her role is it truly is all dependent on like the actress. Like on paper, she's a weird character. Like,
You have to
and
be
we'll get
endearing to
into
play Lucy.
exactly. We'll get into general thoughts in a second, but like, yeah, exactly. You have to be endearing to play Lucy. Like, if Sandra Bullock didn't play Lucy, if it was somebody else, like that would have been, for example, one of the main other from just reading up on trivia and stuff. One of the main other um, actresses that was up for the role was Demi Moore,
Hmm.
which I haven't seen enough Demi Moore movies, but like I think she could, she could do it. But Sandra Bullock has like the like it's not necessarily goof, but like like Sandra Bullock's charm is just very. She just feels very real, like very
Mm-hmm.
very authentic, and so it's kind of hard to find an actress that can really fit that role because Lucy is just such a Sandra Bullock type character.
Totally.
Um, but and I think other actresses would just take it in different directions. But I think this is going to be a weird one. But because this idea, this premise feels very like this could be a classic Hollywood kind of movie, like an old Hollywood type of movie. So I
Yeah.
think Audrey Hepburn could potentially eat up this role. I think she could be really good. Modern, I don't know who could do it. Like a modern actress who could do this role. Like I'm sure there is. I just can't think of any.
I
The only
thought
one
of a
that's coming to my
couple.
mind, the only one that's coming to my mind right now, which she would not fit this role at all. I'm just thinking of like who is a rom com actress in today's day and age. The only one I'm thinking of is Madeline Klein. She would not fit this role. She's too good looking. Not to Sandra Bullock is very good looking in this movie. Not to say that she isn't, but you do not look at Madeline Klein and think she's working in a
She can
Chicago
do it.
like
Yeah.
yeah train. She's working in the Chicago like metro. No, she's not. That's Madeline Klein. Please, she comes from money.
Yeah.
Look at her face.
That's funny. I have a couple.
Yeah,
And you'll have to tell
yeah,
me your thoughts cuz I just kind of
yeah,
looked up like actors and actresses in this time and that like and I'm thinking more modern. Um
yeah.
so I a couple that I thought of Sadie Sink I think could do it.
Ooh,
You know
ooh,
what I mean? Especially if
yeah.
you've seen, if you're a Swiftie like me and you've seen the All
Seen the
Too Well
music
10-minute
video?
version video, I think that she could play like a softer, like kind of more mature, but just kind of like a weird character. I think she could do
Hmm.
it. I also think that Florence Pugh could do it
Oh yeah.
because
Oh
she's just
yeah.
kind of
Florence Pugh would
goofy,
easily do this. Yeah, she would
right?
totally do
She's
it. Yeah.
goofy, but like charming and endearing. So I think that she could slay this role. I also, my wild card one would be like Zendaya. Like, I know that she's beautiful,
Mm-hmm.
but also like she's done kind of more of those like more gritty roles. So I think you
Mm-hmm.
could, and like, you know how she is in Spider Man and stuff. I think that like,
Mm-hmm.
if she wasn't like, if she just took like a good balance of not too harsh, but
Yeah.
not like too sweet, just like kind of combine them. I think those three, good options.
Yeah. I think of those three. which those are way better options than mine. I was like, I don't even know.
Sometimes
I have some
goes
for
blank.
Jack. I have some for Jack, but I think honestly, it's a toss up between Sadie Sink and Florence. I think Florence Pugh probably. I think she
Okay,
like this
we're
is a
going with
role that she
Flo.
would have. Yeah, like
Okay, I love
like
it.
I could see some of these comedic scenes just like with her in it. Like she totally would
Okay,
fit.
well, let me just bounce off of that. If we're
Hmm.
choosing Flo, then let me go straight into Jack because I got two.
Yeah. Okay. Let's
You could
go.
literally go straight into just Lewis Pullman.
Yeah.
Just put the
Yeah.
offspring in there and you're good.
Uh huh.
Or if we're going like Florence Pugh like chemistry, we could also do Andrew Garfield because they've been in a
Hmm.
rom com together. But also Florence Pugh and Lewis Pullman have tons of chemistry too because they were in Thunderbolts together. So
Yeah.
those are my options there. But tell me what you were thinking.
I think like the role because here like I don't. How do I word it? Bill Pullman is not like the conventionally handsome Hollywood man. He's
He's
kind of got like
not.
that
Yeah.
gruff look to him. And so I feel like someone like Andrew Garfield, who is like, that's a man. Like I feel like that doesn't fit as much. Like maybe he could be the comatose brother because he's a little bit more
Really?
classic, handsome-y.
I think that Andrew Garfield, I think that he could, like, he is kind of more leaning towards, like, the really conventionally
Hmm.
attractive. And I know that he's always kind of been in that kind of look, but he's goofy. Like, have you seen,
Yeah.
like, and he can be weird. I don't think he's, like, gruff, like you were saying,
Hmm.
but I think that he could pull it off. But Lewis Pullman,
Yeah.
I also think could pull it off.
Yeah. Lewis Pullman, I think would. Though I view Lewis Pullman, he plays a lot more like lighter characters from what I've seen, anyways.
Yeah.
Not like his obviously he plays some dark characters, but it's always kind of like the boyish charm to it, or like the
Yeah.
innocence to it. Like both Bob and his character in Bad Times, he's very like innocent in some way. Like not he hasn't done things that are innocent, but like he has an innocence to him.
Yeah.
So I think give him a couple more years, and I think Lewis Pullman would be good for this sport. Like he'd be good now, but I think he needs to get a little older. Like just look a little older in my mind.
Yeah. But I
Um,
also think, to your point about like the gruffness of
mhm.
Jack, is that I also like while I was looking at actors, it's an interesting role because he's actually like his personality is so soft.
Yeah,
So it's like
exactly.
you have to find somebody that can like is
Pull
kind
that
of
off.
in between and that can like joke
Hmm.
around that the way that he does. But anyways, tell me which ones you thought of.
So my main one that I thought of was if we're doing modern, um, he definitely sometimes he can come off as like he definitely have to play it not necessarily against type, but a little differently than most of his roles. But I think Miles Teller could do good here.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Like because Miles usually plays more like not necessarily annoying, but he's not his characters aren't necessarily like soft.
Yeah.
But I think he could do it. I think he
No,
could
totally.
definitely do it for this one.
I like Miles Teller.
Um, so Miles Teller was my main one. I think potentially actually I don't know about this one, but just I was thinking about like a potentially younger Oscar Isaac, but Oscar Isaac is too like I view him as like ever since Dune, I view Oscar Isaac as like he plays like royalty. Like that man is like too like not necessarily just his looks, but he's too just like proper to be this type of character.
That's funny.
But I think Miles Teller is probably my main one. I had like two more, but I can't remember what they were. Maybe they'll come to me later. But some of the ideas or some of the people who were originally considered for this role.
Yeah.
So Harrison Ford was a big one, which is
Ooh,
crazy.
interesting.
Like he definitely has the gruff look that he could totally
Yeah.
work. So that could totally work. Harrison Ford was one. McConaughey was denied. They didn't like his Texas accent, but McConaughey
Honestly,
wanted to do
he would
this.
slay that role too.
He would do it. He would be really good.
Yeah.
And then this was a weird one, but McConaughey was denied, and Russell Crowe was originally going to be offered the role.
I cannot see Russell Crowe in this
Yeah,
role.
which is like, interesting. Like 90s Russell Crowe is different than how we view Russell Crowe. Like this was pre-Gladiator Russell Crowe,
Yeah.
but even still, like that's weird to think.
Yeah. Alternate universe, huh?
But so of the ones we've discussed, who do we want to cast?
I don't know.
If we're casting Florence Pugh, who would
Honestly,
be?
any of them would be good. Florence Pugh has chemistry
Yeah,
with anyone.
I think we go with. Because to my knowledge, her and Miles Teller haven't been in a movie, so I wouldn't know their chemistry, even though they probably would have
They'd be
chemistry.
great. Yeah.
Yeah, I think them. I think
Yeah,
Florence Pugh
let's
and
do
Miles
Miles
Teller.
Teller. I like
Yeah,
it. I
yeah.
could see it.
Um,
Okay, Peter, who you got?
hmm.
The handsome.
This is where you can get a more handsome guy. I think
Cocky little
because
guy
Peter's like he's like goofy too. Like he's definitely like you got to get someone who's like
who's
got
like
the
weird
look of a
enough.
cocky dude, but like is goofy. And so Andrew Garfield doesn't have the like he's not goofy. I mean, he's goofy enough, but he's not like you look at Andrew Garfield and you think that is like a sweet man. That is a sweet soul. Whereas I don't think
Yeah, you
like
couldn't
Peter
look
needs.
past. Well, because I wasn't even thinking about the goofiness of it, so I'll just tell
Hmm.
you the two that I picked or that
Yeah.
I had as options. I was just thinking just straight up like handsome, cocky
Hmm.
guys, and I just went. I mean, I don't think this guy is cocky in real life, but like Austin
Hmm.
Butler, I think could do it.
Oh
I
yeah.
also think like Jacob Elordi could do it. Like
Yeah.
just like, just kind of that like really handsome, tall, good-looking
Totally.
dude. That like if Florence Pugh was in a booth and would see that person every day, that she would fall in love with him
Yeah.
enough to save his life. Austin Butler and Jacob Elordi, I'm like, okay.
I think.
Chris
I think.
Evans.
Ooh, that's a good one. Chris Evans could be Jack. Chris Evans could be a
Chris
good
Evans
Jack
could be
too.
Jack
Yeah. I feel like Chris Evans fits more of the Jack role just based on the roles he's taken in the past. He'd
in
be
the
a really good
past, yeah.
Jack. But you already locked in Miles.
We locked in
Um,
Miles. Can't go back.
I think between the two you chose, I think Austin Butler's a little like too good looking for this
Too-
role. Like
But what did you have? What were your options?
I don't even remember. Like I don't even know if I thought of Peter. I was thinking of the old, like the not the dad, but like the like Godfather guy. What's his name? Saul.
Yeah.
I was thinking of Saul actors, but so we'll get to that in a second. But I think Jacob Elordi is more like I could see Jacob Elordi as because he's like an attractive dude, but Austin Butler's like that's like GQ attractive, whereas like Jacob Elordi's like yes he is that, but like I think Jacob Elordi would be a better fit between those two.
I also think that if we're like going based off of like who we're casting first,
Hmm.
then like Jacob Elordi and Miles Teller could be
They'd be
brothers,
good-looking brothers,
looking
Yeah.
looking more like brothers than a different pairing.
Whereas
Okay, cool.
Austin Butler and Miles Teller would be like, your mom cheated
what's going on here?
on your
Yeah.
dad. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Um,
Love it. Tell me your. I didn't come up with anybody else, so you tell me what
Yeah.
other options you got for Saul.
So for Saul, let me find I came up with a list. Let me
what a
find
guy.
it.
Love that. Love that man.
Because you need like a lovable goof, like a lovable like. 'Cause, like, that
Everybody in this
scene-
movie is just goofy.
Everybody's goofy, but like you need like a lovable like. I'm trying to think of like a title for his like character archetype, but I can't think of one. But he's just like the like kind old man. Like when he's watching her in the hospital, like that's such a good scene where he just like gets it. But I think, hear me out on this one. You probably have to age him up a little bit more. I don't think he's there yet, but I think he could either be good with the dad or Saul. But I think Bryan Cranston would be pretty good as Saul.
I don't even know who that
Um,
is.
He's the Breaking Bad guy, like Walter White. He's a
Oh,
little
okay.
like he was actually a comedic actor before Breaking Bad, and then Breaking Bad made him everybody think he was a dramatic actor, but he's mainly a comedic actor. I think an older Bryan Cranston would kill the Saul role. I think it'd be so good.
I don't know enough about him, but
Mm-hmm.
well, you said that because I was thinking of old actors. The
Mm-hmm.
one that popped into my head, old men. I was just thinking of what's the guy who's like. I don't want to butcher my explanation, so let me just actually
Mm-hmm.
look him up. Did you have any other options?
That was my main one. Let me find.
Did you have any other like people that you wanted to cast?
No, those were just the biggest roles, I guess.
Oh, duh. Michael Caine. That's his name.
Mm-hmm.
What are some
Michael
older
Caine, yeah.
actors?
Let's see. Hold on. We need to. Ooh, Dustin Hoffman would be good. Dustin Hoffman would be really good.
I like it.
Um, Clint Eastwood's too mean.
Oh yeah,
What about Michael Keaton?
Hmm. Let me see. Let
He's
me see.
bald, but or not bald, but
I don't. Something about Michael Keaton is like he's like mean in my brain. He
mm,
must have played a couple roles that I'm like, oh, it's probably from Spider Man.
yeah.
Um. Hmm.
Here, let's turn it over to our audience. Tell us who you think
Yeah.
would be a good Saul.
Yeah. You guys
Because
cast Saul
yeah,
because we
give
can't
us a
find the
good
right guy.
old man, kindly old man kind of actor.
Yeah. You guys let us know in the comments below, or I'll post a
Mm,
poll or something. We'll find some way. If you're watching on YouTube, or if you want to comment on like Spotify or something, let us know. I
hmm.
wonder also, did you cast anybody for like Joe Jr. or anything, or was that the only
No,
ones you casted? Okay, cool.
no.
Well, then we'll move on.
I should have cast a Joe Jr. though. That would have been
I
funny.
know,
I
what a
forgot about him.
classic. What a guy.
Hmm.
Okay, well, getting into the nitty gritty of this film, let's just start with kind of like the plot
Hmm.
generally. So, first question for you, Garrett, coming straight from Julie. All of my questions today coming from my mom because I
Hmm.
wanted her to be a part of it. Would you risk your life to save a hot stranger that you are infatuated with?
Without a doubt.
He's like, I am Spider Man.
There's certain people I have in my mind where it's like if they fell on train tracks, I am swan diving onto the train tracks to save them.
Wow, you
Um,
guys.
like
If
I
Garrett
not
has a
that I'm
secret crush on you, he will not
yeah,
let you die.
I'm not trying to say so let me just get into my overall experience with this movie because this will kind of explain why I say this. Um, so when we first started this movie, I was like, from the jump, I was like, oh, this is. It felt like very classic-y. It felt very Christmassy,
Totally,
which
yeah.
it's not like too Christmassy, but
Doesn't
it
it
is.
start with like "This will
Yeah,
be an everlasting love," like that
I think
song?
so. I
Yeah.
think so.
Did you
Um,
watch it by yourself or with people?
no, I watched it with my family.
Fun.
So for the first little bit, I was like, with the premise, like when the family first arrives, and then like I'm not a huge like liar revealed kind of story guy. Like I don't like when a plot revolves around like a misunderstanding and that's like the whole story. It's like, oh, I gotta pretend like I'm this. Like for example, 10 Things I Hate About or not 10 Things I Hate About You. How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days was like Guy in 10 Days was similar to that, where it's
Yeah.
like where I still enjoyed it, but it's like the whole time it's like, okay, come on, like
Get to the
let's
point
just
where you
figure it
guys,
out. Let's
yeah.
figure it out.
He doesn't like a
So
miscommunication trope.
yeah, exactly. So that's what I was really, really worried about with this movie, where it does do a miscommunication trope, but and it just kind of like when the family came in and she was revealed, or when they thought that she was the fiance and stuff, I was like, this is just like, ugh, like this feels gross. Like
I'm
you
gonna
should
hate
just
this.
tell, yeah, like this is weird. Like I still was like having fun, but it was like, oh, this feels weird. Like just let this poor family know the truth. But then the scene happened where she's in the hospital, just her and Peter. It's Peter, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. And then she just has her old big monologue, which had started out and I was like, this is weird. But then by the end, when she was like, do you know what it's like to be alone? Or when she's like, do you know what it's like to like fall in love with someone, like without even like speaking to them or like talking to them or by only seeing them? And then when Saul's watching her and stuff, but that scene, that whole monologue, like by the end of it, I was like, oh, so she's me. I get it.
You're
Um,
like, oh, so if I was put in this situation, I'd
yeah.
probably just go along with it.
So so after that scene like really like kind of grounded me to this movie, and from
Yeah.
then on, I was like, I had a really good time. I really liked this one, but it was really because of Sandra Bullock delivering that monologue and just her charisma and Bill Pullman's charisma and stuff. Like that really like when I realized like, oh, I can somewhat like not can I can relate to this in the sense of I've fallen or I've pretended to be the fiance of a comatose person, but in the sense of I know like what she's feeling. Like
Yeah.
felt that I've been there. That's
Yeah.
when I was like, oh, I like this because I can relate to
Well,
this.
yeah. And then amplify your loneliness by like 20 because she also has no family. And
Exactly.
then she gets walked all over at work because she's the only
Hmm.
one without family. And so it's like, yeah, of course she's gonna like she's gonna be brought into this family, she's gonna eat it up, even though she knows
Uh,
it's wrong. And
yeah,
she's like kind of scrambling the whole time, like, Saul, like, we need to tell him, like, now's the
exactly.
time,
Like
you know?
if she was like kind of fine with it the whole time, that'd be a different thing. But because she's like, I don't know how I feel about this. I don't want to do this. And then Saul's like, you got to let him
I,
have this.
yeah. And
Like
Saul's
that's
also
good.
like, I got it, I'll take care of it. And then he never
And he
does.
doesn't.
Yeah, no, crazy. I love it.
But yeah, so anyways, would you jump on the train tracks to save a guy you thought was attractive?
Probably if I was in the same
Hmm.
sitch, you know, where
Yeah.
I'm just like, I mean, she really doesn't have anything to lose, right?
Hmm. Except
And I
for
also feel
life.
like it just gets to like it gets to a point where because it was Christmas morning, Christmas Eve morning,
Yeah, Christmas
Christmas
morning.
morning, like it's like there was nobody else around. It's like, oh,
Hmm.
like I have to save him or I'm going to watch him die. Then like,
Yeah,
yeah, you know?
exactly.
So,
And I think like because she didn't see the train coming until she was like already
on the
there.
track, yeah.
There, it's a different story if like train is like 30 seconds out. Then that's a little like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm probably not going to be able to save this guy in the first place. So why would I die?
Yeah.
But because like if train's like 2 minutes out or something, of course, yeah, I'm jumping onto the tracks and
Yeah.
trying to pull this attractive girl off.
Yeah, no, totally. Okay.
Mm,
I love it. Well, okay. So she kind of like goes and starts. Okay, one of my favorite parts is anytime the family is all together because they
mm-hmm,
just kind of talk over each other and it's really funny. And it reminds me of some of our family gatherings when we're all
mm,
just like having different conversations and people like it's
yeah.
just so funny and they're just blurting out random stuff. Um, so like what were your favorite moments in this one?
Mm. I think anytime there was a Saul scene, I really liked because he's just wholesome. Like I said, her monologue is really good. I think her and Jack's first like kind of night together where they go move the couch and then they walk back to her apartment and stuff like that whole sequence is really good and they just have
Mhm.
such good chemistry and you
Mhm.
can tell how cold it was too when they were filming and you can just see like that must have been miserable to film but they're still like this charismatic
Yeah.
um because as someone who's filmed things in really cold weather in the mountains of Utah it's not fun so like seeing that was like it was just impressive.
And
um
I don't remember. I lived in Chicago, like the suburbs, for like a little bit of my childhood, and I don't remember much from it, but I do remember how cold it would get in Chicago
mhm.
in the winter. So,
And I really loved the ending was really sweet when he just throws the ring in the
hmm
little slot and then the whole
everything
family's there.
about everything about this movie is just like so cheesy, but like
Hmm.
in the most endearing way. Like it doesn't make me
Exactly.
cringe, which is like the best
Exactly.
part about this movie. Is I think maybe because you said at the beginning it kind of feels more like a classic. Like it just
Hmm.
feels so genuine. The cheese.
I just
Um,
got a flash of revelation in my head.
Please tell us.
Speaking because you were saying like cheesiness and that made me think of like modern rom-coms which they don't really exist anymore and they're usually pretty bad. But that got me
Hmm.
thinking of actors in modern rom-coms and I know exactly who Peter is.
Tell
It's
us.
not Jacob Elordi. It's Glenn Powell.
Oh my gosh, we get Miles Teller and Glenn Powell back together.
Like
I
that.
love it.
That is. He's totally. He could eat up the Peter role like easily. He's
I
so
love
good
it.
in that role.
I love it.
Um, especially like when he's like trying to like be better. Like when what is it, Allison when comes in or
I don't know her
whatever.
name, but yeah, his ex.
Yeah, when his ex come in and they have that like back and forth like that scene. Glenn Powell would do so good in that scene where he's like, "I want the nose then" or whatever.
Yeah.
Like he'd be so good in that. Anyways,
So
but
funny.
I sorry I just had
Yeah.
to say that because it just
No, I
came to
love
me.
it. I love
Yeah.
it. I agree. I think that that's our cast. Stamp of
Hmm.
approval. Now we just need to find our Saul.
Yeah.
If any visions come to you in the meantime. But yeah, no, I think I just love the vibes of this movie. I think there's enough the perfect amount of like rom and calm.
Mhm.
Like the the jokes in this movie are so funny.
Yeah.
Like just Joe Jr. as a whole. Just the best
Hmm.
comedic relief. I think that like just Jack and Lucy's chemistry and their like banter and jokes They're like
Hmm.
playing off each other so good. But yeah, were there any
And then
like
I
funny
think
parts that? Oh wait, go ahead.
I think the trope of like a young single girl who's friends with a bunch of like older, like gentle, kind men. I've always liked. I don't know
Yeah,
why. I think that's like a rom com kind of trope, or just kind of a story kind of trope, where it's always like young single girl has friends who are like older dudes who are like, you need a man who will really watch out for you, and she has like a ton of
yeah.
those. She has like Saul.
Her
She has Joe's
boss.
dad. She has her boss. Like Lucy has so many of those, and I always love that trope. It's just endearing to me.
Yeah,
Um,
when she's like always talking to her boss about the situation, and then
yeah,
he's like,
she's
"Lucy,
like,
you
which one are we
have to
talking
figure
about?
this out." Yeah, he's like, "Wait, the brother?"
Yeah.
It's so funny every time. He's like, "I don't know what's going on."
Hmm.
Yeah, no, it's great. Um, okay, let me think of what other questions I have from
Well, I think
Julie. Oh, go
one thing
ahead.
I will say, the one thing that I think was missing from this movie
Tell us.
is I did want a scene of, so after she reveals everything at the wedding or whatever, then runs away. I wanted before the scene where Jack proposes, somewhere in there, I wanted a scene where Jack kind of monologues about his love for Lucy to his family, because
Mm.
I think it's not necessarily,
There,
to
we're just
me it's
missing
kind of
that
like a
part.
missing scene
Yeah.
where, because they all show up and they're all so happy and stuff. Like, give me that scene, just a scene where he's talking to his dad or his mom or his brother, even like something where he like kind of reveals like his full feelings, because we
And
never
they're
really
all
get
just
him
so relieved.
exactly. We never really get him like really testifying of his whole feelings. He just kind of, there's like a few scenes where he implies it, but he never is like "I love Lucy" kind of thing.
Hmm.
And so I think there's potential for a really good scene where he's talking to his family, monologuing to his family, and then his grandma or his mom or something is like, "Then why don't you marry her? Like, why don't you propose?" or something like that. Like, I
Well, it
think
would.
that's the one
I
missing
think
scene.
that, but I do think that it's perfect that I can picture exactly how that conversation would go. It tells
Exactly.
a lot
Yeah.
about the characters because I'm like, I
Hmm.
can tell like the family's like, well, what are we doing? Like, let's go, you
Exactly.
know? I
Like
love
you can
it.
see the scene in your head already.
Yeah, no, I think that that would be cute. It does kind of
Hmm.
feel a little like tad bit rushed at the end where you're just like, oh, something is missing. So I like that you included that. Speaking of kind of like that family dynamic, do you feel like, I mean, and that missing scene kind of leads perfectly into this question is like, do you think you would be so quick to forgive Lucy if like they were lying to you for that long and then they kind of like reveal it at the very end, like kind of at the last second? And then, like, what do you think? I feel like it's tricky. I think the way that she like presents it though is that like it's like I fell in love with you guys like as a whole and like I just couldn't let you go. And I also fell
Hmm.
in love with your other son. So there's that
Yeah.
too, you know? And then she's like, "All right, see you guys." Like I don't think she was expecting them to forgive her.
Yeah. With my, I'm gonna say like, if, because it's a family situation. So if this is my family and then personally, my family, I don't think we forgive her. It's a huge thing to like just like,
I
actually, I'm
agree.
not married
And
to
it's
your
also
son.
kind of
Yeah,
psycho.
exactly. It's
But
pretty psychotic. And personally, what position am I in? Am I Jack? Am I just a sibling? Am I Peter?
I don't
Like,
know. You kind of have to think through all the things because I'm like,
mhm.
I mean, genuinely as Peter, I don't think it's like that big of a deal.
No, it's like,
Honestly.
oh, okay,
Right? Like it's like,
whatever.
all right,
Yeah,
well, like maybe I just got gaslit into having amnesia, but like my life goes on,
yeah.
right? For Jack, I feel like it's heartbreaking and it's like please forgive her, right? Cuz it's like
Hmm.
they love each other. And then for the family, I think you're right. Like our family just in general, I feel like it'd be hard to forgive cuz
Hmm.
we all just get so attached. But I also kind of think of Lucy as a lost puppy. Just a little
Hmm.
lost puppy. She has nobody. I think that Saul could come to her defense a little bit. Like you have that
Yeah.
figure to kind of be like, hey, I knew all along. I kept helping her like continue with the facade. And like she wanted to tell you guys earlier, like come to her defense, which I think could help, right?
Hmm.
Help her case. And then once Saul kind of comes up with that case, then Jack is like, also I love her, so like we got to do something about this.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like it's tricky. I feel like if you were in any character's position in this movie, it's like yes. But if this was a
Yeah.
real life situation, I think it would be a little bit less black and white.
Realistically, if it's anyone but someone with the exact chemistry or exact charisma of Sandra Bullock, no. Like you'd have to
That's
be like
valid.
exactly her.
I think
pretty
you just
much,
look at
'cause-
Lucy and you're like, but how can you not forgive her, right?
Exactly. Whereas like put this in a modern like a real situation, she's like probably facing like some charges of some sort.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I think I probably couldn't unless like I said it was like a 1-to-1 Sandra Bullock Lucy character.
Yeah. You definitely have to be the right kind of crazy to get the forgiveness and be as
Exactly.
beautiful as Sandra Bullock in the
Yeah.
process. Okay.
Exactly.
Love it. So, a hard maybe.
Yeah, it's a complex question.
Complex question. Um all right. Well, love it. Do you feel like at any point in the movie, like, where were you kind of like your eyes were opened to the Jack Lucy situation versus like the Peter? Like, where were you like, this is complicated and also Peter's kind of a jerk anyways?
I think I mean, I knew it was always going to be her and Jack because Bill Pullman's on the poster. But
Valid.
I actually really liked it. I liked the way they kind of framed it because Peter isn't really like that much of a jerk when he wakes up. Like he's kind of just like, I have this new life. Like I'm gonna be better. So he's kind of like a nice guy. Like he's trying to
He
be
had
better.
his like Scrooge moment.
Yeah.
Woke
But,
up
like,
from a coma and then he's like, ta-da.
like besides, because we only hear like we know he's a bad dude just because like what we hear, not necessarily what we see. So I kind of liked how it kind of played with my expectations a little bit, where I was like, oh,
He's actually
Peter's
not that
because
bad.
I thought he was gonna wake up and just be like horrible, but he's actually kind of just like a silly little guy.
Yeah.
But the moment I was like, yeah, I'm on way more on board with Jack and Lucy was probably when they slipped and he tears his pants and that whole thing.
Yeah. One of my favorite parts too, I think, where you're kind of like, ugh, like it's such a. I feel like you feel a lot for Jack in it because it's like so tricky. Is when he's playing like cards with him at the hospital and he's like,
But yeah,
I've never like been jealous of you before until now.
until now, that was a good scene too. That
Yeah,
was a really
because
good
he's
scene.
like, going through all the things and he's like talking about them growing up and how different they were and he's like, I've never wanted to be you, but now I do. And it's just so tricky because at that point, obviously nobody really knows the reality of the situation, and so, especially Jack. So,
That's also
anyways,
that's also a good joke when he's like, okay, high card gets her,
yeah,
and then and then he goes 2 out of 3.
yeah,
It's funny. Yeah.
so good. One of our favorite parts too, just thinking of like funny moments, is at the end when at the wedding when she's kind of like giving her whole speech about who she fell in love with and the situation, and she comes clean. And she's like, and I fell in love with you. And then the dad goes, you fell in love with me?
You fell in love with me? Yeah, it's funny. She's like,
My-
no, well, yes, but all of you. That's good.
Yeah, no, honestly, every single time the delivery of that line, like, our family loves saying that. Also, there's a part when they're at dinner with everyone before Peter wakes up, and they're like eating the food and
The mashed
stuff.
potatoes.
Yeah, and they're like, these mashed potatoes are so creamy. And then she's like, Mary mashed them. Like, it's just so funny. There's just like
That's
little lines
something-
every now and then that are just so good.
That's what my parents said. Like on my dad's side of the family, one of my aunts always said like, merrily mashed them because of this movie.
Yeah.
Which it was funny because they were talking about it afterwards and they're like, why did that become a thing? Because that's like a very offhanded, like you barely hear it, like because there's so many other things going
You
on. at the
actually
same
have
time.
to be like listening for it.
Like Mary mashed them.
Yeah,
It's funny
so
that became a family meme.
Yeah, and it's cute, like, how in that scene, like, it's just Jack and Lucy, like, looking at each other, just laughing while
just
they're all just,
laughing
like,
together.
chaotically eating and talking. So cute.
And then when Jack's sister calls him out, it's like, you don't like blondes. She's like, you like brunettes.
Yes, so good. So good. All right, do you have any like other questions, thoughts?
Oh yeah, so I already said like the only true like negative I have with this movie is because there's a thing like, oh, I wish this happened, but it's not like that ruins the movie for me. It's not like this ruins the movie for me, but the only true negative I have, the music is pretty bad.
Really?
Like
I like
I think
the music in this.
the main theme is good, but like the quirky like silly music I didn't like. And I think it works in the first scene with the like when they get to the hospital and they see him in the coma and then the whole misunderstanding happens. I think it works in that scene. Every other time it plays, I don't like it, and I think it should have been placed elsewhere, or they should have put different music into it. I think it's a little too like because there's some scenes where it's like this is a genuine, heartfelt scene. Like sure, there's a joke or two in here, but it's like this is a real scene, and then they're just playing like the little like goofy music in the background. So I didn't really like that.
It like took you
But
out
again,
of it.
the main theme is good. I think that works really well. But the like more quirky or like funny scene, I didn't like that music.
Yeah, that's fair. I think that for me, having like grown up watching this movie, the
Yeah,
music to me is just like super nostalgic. And
iconic
so,
and nice. Yeah.
yeah, I like every time I hear it, I'm like, oh. And the main theme I think is really good. You know how my dad is like, if it's stuck in my head after, like
Yeah.
that's how I know it's good. We were watching it as a family, and he was like whistling along to the music, and I'm like, I think Tej might like this one, whether he thinks he does or not. So
There's a universe in my mind though where because the main theme is good, but I think maybe it's just because it's Christmas in Chicago, so my brain just goes here and I think of Home Alone. But I think there is a universe where John Williams does the score for this, and it's really good.
and it eats. Well, speaking of like Christmas movies, we need to end the debate. I don't know if we're going to have to end the debate on here or if it's going to be on our Instagram or what. And honestly, my brother Brady, he said that he doesn't care what people think. But like, do you feel like this is a Christmas movie?
100%. There's not a doubt in my mind that this is
Okay,
this is a
thank
Christmas
you.
movie. Is there a debate?
Yes, Brady says it's not a Christmas movie.
Well, Brady's just objectively wrong then.
He's like, this is not a Christmas movie. And we're like, it is. It's set at Christmas. Most of the storyline is centered around Christmas events. And I know
Yeah.
that it goes into like New Year's and then a little bit past New Year's, but it's all over Christmas break. The vibes are Christmassy. And he's like, well, the vibes are Christmassy in lots of movies that aren't Christmas movies. And we're like, huh? Anyways.
The thing about a Christmas movie is it's more than just being set during Christmas. It's also about the vibes and like
The vibes, yes.
the heart of the story. Like this is a family centered, like this is a rom com where she falls in love with the goofy family during like Christmas dinner
During the holidays.
Like this is a Christmas movie. Brady is just wrong.
And he's like, well, just because it's like at Christmas doesn't mean it's a Christmas movie. And I told him, I was like, well, you could argue that for what's that iconic Christmas movie? It's a Wonderful Life. I'm like, you could argue that that's not a Christmas movie if that's what you're thinking about this one because it's set at Christmas time, but it's
most
not
of it isn't
necessarily
during
about
Christmas.
Christmas. Yeah, and he's like, well, no, because that's a Christmas movie. And I'm like, there's just no winning with him, I guess.
No.
So, anyways, I'm glad that you're on my side.
There's movies where there's genuinely a debate of if it's a Christmas movie or not. This is not one of those movies. This is very much a Christmas movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Slay. Well, then I'm glad we did it. For the beginning of our Christmas season.
Yeah.
Do you have any other like thoughts?
Yes. So, did the critics get it right? Segment.
Yes.
So this movie on Rotten Tomatoes. Let me grab my phone. So this movie on Rotten Tomatoes has a critic score of 81%. You want to take a gander
That's
at what the
honestly
audience score
shocking to me. 81%, period.
It's Sandra and Bill Pullman.
I guess
they're just so good.
they just were like, audience. I feel like audience is typically higher. Maybe like 90?
No.
Is it lower?
It's lower.
Is it
very
like
interestingly.
76?
But I think it's just because like audience scores can continue on till like afterwards. For
Yeah.
example, like there's like 51 critic reviews or something, and then there's 100,000 audience scores. So it's like over the years. So audience is 79, only a couple below, but
Yeah, not too bad. I
yeah,
honestly think the 79 is more reflective of where I think this movie actually is.
definitely. Like
So,
it's high 70s kind of movie. It's like
yeah, for sure.
it's definitely like a better rom-com, like one of the
Yeah,
best rom-coms in my opinion
totally.
that I've seen.
Yeah.
Um,
Have you seen The Holiday?
yeah, it's been a long time, but I have seen it.
That's
Seeing
good.
Jack Black in a romantic role is weird to me though.
That's
I need to
fair.
rewatch it, but seeing Jack Black like not be Jack Black, be more like honed in, is like seeing him act is weird.
Seeing him not just be goofy the whole time.
And that's
Well,
not a dig
maybe
at
we'll
Jack
have
Black.
to.
I love Jack Black, but he's just kind of weird in that. Not it's just because I'm not
When did you
used to
see
that.
it last?
It was a couple years ago, so we might have to watch it.
I feel like, yeah, I feel like with that one, that's another one that like kicks off this season for me. I just love that movie. And I do think that the first couple times I saw it, I was like, I don't get the Jack Black thing. And then once I like actually appreciated it, I was like, no, like Black actually kills this role. So maybe you need to see it again.
yeah, and it does give me hope because Jack Black gets Kate Winslet, so
True.
there's hope for all of us. Anyways, and then so Letterboxd score is 3.6 out of 5, which I think is pretty solid with
Yeah.
where this. That's like what I gave it. I gave it like a 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah, and I gave it a 4, so right in between us. It's great.
Exactly. And I have to, before we end the episode, I have to shout out Bill Pullman's haircut in this movie. It's so good.
I saw that on your Letterboxd.
He has such
If you
good
guys want to
hair.
follow us on Letterboxd and see our reviews in real time, please give us a follow. But tell me also about, were there any other fun facts that you had?
But yeah, so another one that I saw was, so at the very beginning or not at the beginning, there's like a transition shot where the paper boy's throwing the newspapers.
Yeah, where he's throwing
and
the
then
paper.
he like completely like eats it.
Yeah.
That wasn't like I was like that's such a good fall. Like it has to be stunted, but no,
Yeah.
it wasn't scripted. And the actor
Yeah.
actually broke his wrist,
Yeah.
but they kept it in the movie.
I think when when we were watching it this time, knowing that it was going to be on the podcast, my mom was like, Garrett's going to love that one. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I'm sure he will.
It was so good, and I didn't realize this because there's a few times like there's a lot of establishing shots, at least two that I can remember, where you see somebody fall, like you see the ice skater eat it at the very
Yeah.
beginning, then you see the newspaper guy, and then obviously they trip and fall a few times throughout the movie. And I realized, or as I was reading, I saw that that's actually like intentional because the movie's about like falling in love with someone, so, like against your best intentions and falling in love with things and stuff like that, falling in love with the
love that.
family. So it's like that's intentional because everybody like because she's falling for the family, Jack's falling for her, they're falling for her. But
I love it.
also
Sometimes,
the original. Or sorry, what were you gonna say?
I was just speaking of falling. I just always think of in Catching Fire at the beginning when Katniss and Peeta fall on the ice. So irrelevant. So continue.
Speaking of Christmas movie, this movie wasn't supposed to be set during Christmas, but then they decided to change the story around a little bit so it was set during Christmas because the studio thought it'd be easier to market that way.
Yeah.
And boy, howdy, were they right. I don't think this really works as much as a summer movie. Like, it could still work, but like, which again, this just is a testament to why it's a Christmas movie. Like, the vibes are like, if this is not set during Christmas, I don't know if it works as well. Like, it has
Totally,
to be
yeah.
set during Christmas kind of thing. Because that makes sense why she would even go along with
Be
this.
there, yeah.
Yeah, why she, like, it makes her
She feels
loneliness that
extra
much
lonely,
more.
yeah.
Exactly. And then the last thing I wanted to share from my research was originally the genders were swapped, where it was a man falls in love with a woman or not falls in love with a woman, but like pretends to be the spouse of a woman who gets in a coma.
And everybody
But
was like, that's
they
creepy.
decided to change that because it was predatory. They felt could be predatory.
Everybody said, that's weird.
Which
Switch
it's
it
so
up.
funny. It's so funny to think because it's like, yeah, it's valid.
Everybody's like, yeah, maybe that's not going to go over so well.
It's just really funny.
That's
how you
actually
could
a
totally,
horror movie.
Yeah, exactly. It's so funny how you just switch the gender roles and it's like, yeah, this is not the same movie.
We're like, actually, that one's coming out at Halloween time. It's a horror film.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
And the title could still say the same.
While you were sleeping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was all I got for this movie. Overall score, I'd give this a, I'd give this like a medium bucket, medium to largest bucket if there's a in between, and then with butter.
Love it. I give it a medium bucket as well. I was thinking about it before we got on, and I was like, I think it's like a solid medium to large bucket. And I give it extra butter because I love this movie, and it's a classic in my heart.
Sometimes, like, this movie's not trying to be a large bucket movie. It's trying to be a medium.
And that's fun. I mean, and if there were specific buckets for not all movies, but just rom-com movies, then this would be a large, extra large bucket.
Exactly.
So...
And I think I do have to shout out, now that I'm thinking about the filmmaking side of it, I forgot. There's a few shots in this movie that are really good. Like the scene where she or Jack drops her off, and then it shows like him against the door and then her against the door, and you see like the globe in the background. That was a really good shot. And then when like Jack drops her off and drives off, and then she's just standing there on the curb, that was really good. So the filmmaking is actually pretty good in a lot of instances.
Do you know who it was directed by and what else they've done?
Yeah, so I actually was looking into it, and it was like, that's random. So it was directed by, let me pull it up, John Turtalib. I don't know how to say his last name. John Turtalib, I think, which in a million years, I don't think you guess the other movies he's made based on this movie. Are they like
totally complete opposites?
So his most popular one on Letterboxd is The Meg.
What even is that?
The Megalodon movie. Number two. So I first saw that and was like, wait, so he doesn't make good movies. Then I saw number two. Number two is National Treasure.
No freaking way. That is the best thing I've ever heard.
Then there's like National Treasure 2, Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Sorcerer's Apprentice? I love that movie.
So this guy, he makes good movies. He does make good movies.
Okay, go off. That is the funniest thing I've ever heard. The Meg, shocking. National Treasure, probably even more shocking. Yeah. But that's incredible. He has made some serious impact on my life. Shout out to what's his face?
John, whatever, however you say
John,
his last
whatever.
name.
Love you, bro. Okay, well, great. Yeah. I literally watched National Treasure and While You Were Sleeping every year. Without question. National Treasure 1 and 2. So I watched 3 of his movies at least once a year.
And Sorcerer's Apprentice.
That one needs to get thrown in the mix more.
Yeah, I haven't seen that movie in so long, but I remember loving it, and I remember the secret scene with like the electricity.
The secrets! I was just gonna say, that is was just stuck in my head, where he's like doing like his broadcasting on the radio.
It's so cool. And it's like just romance. Like that is just romance.
So good.
It's funny because like everybody of our generation knows that scene and loves that scene. Like it is like foundational.
When you're thinking of like being because it's like kind of a kids movie, you know? Like
yeah.
It is a kids movie, but it like is live action, which I think we've talked about before. Those don't exist anymore.
We don't have those anymore. Yeah.
And I think just like watching that as a kid and just being like, this is magic. Like, but thinking it was so cool. It's so good. Anyways.
And just the sound design of it. Like, I cannot listen to Secrets, which I love that song. That's on my playlist. It comes up all the time. I cannot listen to that song without thinking of that scene. Like, that's how iconic that scene
Nothing
is.
Better than, like, hearing music that is in soundtracks of movies and TV and just thinking of a scene. I'm like, that's when you know you've done a good job. Like, I know that we both prefer scores typically, but if you can make me think of a scene, which honestly for me happens a lot, but if you can make me think of a scene just by like having a certain song in it, then you've done a good job. Shout out to you.
When it's implemented well, when like soundtrack is implemented well, it's so good.
So good.
Like what's another example? Just so we can get another example in there. There's one I was thinking of just a second ago. I mean, we've talked about this before, but like all of Guardians of the Galaxy, like a movie where it's like important, where it's like actually, it's not just they're playing the song. Like again, Sorcerer's Apprentice, the perfect example of this. It's not just because the song is good; it's because it actually plays a role in the plot.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. Anyway, I just get goosebumps thinking about it. I don't know why. It's like I
What
don't
is
even know
it
if that movie's
about
that
that
good.
scene?
That scene specifically is just like that's the perfect scene.
Love it.
Anyways,
Well, that director has directed some very important staples in our life, so thank you. All right, Garrett, what are we going into? Oh, wait, I didn't give my score. No, I did give my score.
yeah, you did. You did.
Okay, sorry. All right, Garrett, what are we doing next week?
So, continuing with the train of Christmas movies that aren't, or that like, because this is a Christmas, but Christmas movies where it's like, it's not
like
necessarily
Elf
like
or
exactly
Home Alone. Yeah.
exactly like we're not getting to like the Christmas movies yet. So
It's
continuing
not
on with
Santa
that tradition,
Claus.
exactly.
Yeah.
So the vibe of the function is going to change drastically, and we're going to watch one of the biggest debated: is this a Christmas movie? Is this not a Christmas movie? Movies, and that is the classic Bruce Willis Die Hard.
Oh, yes. I think my father said, "Are you guys going to watch Die Hard on the podcast this year?" And I said, "I don't know, but Garrett's going to have to pick it if we do." I'm
We're watching
excited.
Die Hard. I have only seen that movie once, and I absolutely loved it. And it's been years, so I'm very excited to rewatch it.
I have watched it approximately one half of a time because we watched it, our like whole family watched it at like we started it at like 12:30 a.m. like in the at night, and I was like, yeah, I'll watch it, and then I fell asleep 30 minutes in, and I usually don't fall asleep in movies, so I'm excited to give it a full go.
I remember my last plug on Die Hard before we finish up. I remember thinking, because it's known as one of the best action movies ever made, and I remember before I watched it, I was like, okay, is this another like situation of, oh, it's a classic, but it hasn't aged that well kind of movie where it's like, oh, I can see how it's influenced things. But no, like Die Hard is still to this day so good. So I'm very excited to watch it. Yeah.
I'm excited too. Well, I'm glad we enjoyed this one. I feel like from here on out through the end of the year, it's just going to be good vibes, you guys. And then once we get to January, maybe we'll have to mix it up, and me and Garrett will have to yell at each other.
A depressing one, yeah.
Throw out a depressing one, maybe something that'll get us heated, super controversial. So anyways, we are happy that you guys joined us. We hope that you will join us through the rest of the season. Again, if you're wanting like us to throw in some Stranger Things stuff as that's coming out, or if you have any other requests, just let us know. We are very open to things. So we just want you guys to want to listen. So we appreciate it. Go watch Die Hard, and we will see you next week.